Shalom. Call Limelight Yahawa Bashem, Yahawashi Bashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And a sincere shalom to the 144,001 Now, there's been a lot of movement going on in the world, the whole entire world. Things are being made on the scene, out of the scene, in the shadows. Got Israelites taking bags, nothing new, to switch up the gospel, to preach a false Yahawashi, to preach the false spirit of prophecy. Those things ring true. Really since, Abba Bivens hit the scene. And this lesson is just going to go into some good foundations, okay, into this gospel, into this ministry. So I'm going to hit up Revelations, the 19th chapter, and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. So this is John, okay, on the island of Patmos, which is like I think it's like a salt mine. And he saw an angel, the angel of the Lord, the angel of Yahweh. An angel just means a messenger, all right? So he saw the Elohim, he saw a God, okay? And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have testimony of Yahawashi. Pause. So that means the Israelites share, as we call it, DNA, right? The Israelites share lineage with the angels. They are a type of Israelite, all right? They're just a different type of Israelite. They're still our kin, our brethren. So let's reread that again. Revelations 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that had the testimony of Yahawashi. So this angel knows a thing or two, right? Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. So if you have Israelites and they're not prophesying, particularly about the MOTB, okay, particularly about the MOTB, that means the Most High Yahweh is not dealing with them. And there's no way around it. There's no cutting corners, okay? Now let's get to Galatians, the 5th chapter, in verse 9. Actually, verse 9. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So what is that referring to? If you're off by one little thing, it'll corrupt you entirely, in your entirety. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So if you got these Israelite groups, they switching doctrine, they preaching another Yahawashi, they're just going off the rails, they probably had a little leaven. And then guess what? It leaveneth the whole lump. Now they out of there. Now they preaching Gentiles gonna hit the chariots and all this other madness. Okay? So let's get to second Corinthians chapter 11. I'm gonna start from the top. For verse 1. Would to the Most High ye could bear with me a little in my folly. And indeed bear with me, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahawashi and Mashiach. So guess what? We are the bridegrooms to Yahawashi and Yahweh, which is what? The second covenant, okay, where we get the new bodies, and we're not going to sin, and we're going to rule over the heathen. Because salvation, this is salvation. Getting the second covenant, that's the salvation. You understand? The second covenant is the salvation. All right, you got the first fruits and you got the second fruits. That is salvation. All right, so the first go around is going to be the first fruits, which are going to be delivered from Babylon the Great and the rest of the world that they dwell in. You understand? Even the elect that have been killed off for whatever reason. Then Hamashiach shall rise first. You understand? And then the rest of the Israelites, 2/3, and the other ones that just, that wasn't in their right minds, that don't fall into the category of 2/3, they're going to come back in the kingdom. That is the salvation which is only exclusively for the 12 tribes of the Israelites. Okay? And another thing, a part of the gospel, is that the Edomites are the so-called white race, Caucasian race. And of course, their seed that they scattered, in Latin America and South Africa and wherever else they dwell at, Babylon the Great, you're going to have Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom, Moabites, right? They look like that, but they're actually Edomites. So there you go. This is verse 3. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach. There you go. The serpent beguiles Israelites, have been and will continue to take the hopeful elect out. Because guess what? They're not part of you. Being a part of hopeful elect doesn't mean you're part of the elect. Okay? So guess what? Jake's, that's on point. Guess what? They got a little leaven in them. Then the serpent comes, give them that injection. There you go. We've seen it happen before to a lot of Israelites. That was on point. Chiefly being high priest Ariah. Look what happened to him. He was on point. He was a mighty man. I listened to Apostle Gabar say how when he would talk or pray that it will stop raining or something to that effect. And I 100% believe that, because when you look at the videos of him, he was built different. I seen this scene. It was just a random video on social media, and it was a lion. And this lion, it was really sick, weak looking lion. And it was a donkey. And the lion was so weak and sickly that it was some Ishmaelites. It sounded like they're speaking Arabic or something. Ishmael, more than likely. They put a donkey in the pen with the sick lion. And the donkey's just beating up on the lion, just stomping it out. And it pissed me off, because it's like, man, that lion, he's supposed to be jacking up that donkey. And that lion, High Priest Ariah, he's that lion. He was a fierce, powerful man. Took the bag. Now he's a weak, sickly lion, right? Now, eventually, the Most High Yahweh is going to put him in his right mind. Maybe he'll have mercy on him. Maybe not. That's up to Yahweh, all right? So let's get to verse 4. For he that cometh preacheth another Yahawashi, whom we have not preached, or if you receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him. So guess what? These Israelites that start preaching something that doesn't follow suit with Apostle Tahar on down, you mark them, all right? You declare their wickedness, and if they don't repent, you cast them out. You let them know that, hey, what is it? A heretic. They're a heretic. After 2 or 3 admonitions, reject. I'm going to get that after I finish what I want here in 2 Corinthians. Okay. All right, let's get this right here. This is Salakia. This is Titus, the 3rd chapter, in verse 3. A man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject, knowing that he is such is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself. Yeah, so he ain't supposed to be going back and forth with these jakes, man. You're not supposed to be going back and forth, repeating yourself to these jakes after 2 or 3. Or it says first and second. So after the second time, he doesn't get it, you give him a boot. Stop dealing with him. Now let's go into what a heretic means, and let's go into the word what admonition means. So let's get that word heretic. And it means schematic, factitious, a follower of a false doctrine. All right? And that's what it's going into. So guess what? That's Christianity. That's Mormonism. That's believing in nothing. That's anything that's not a part of this gospel, the truth. And you preach it to him, and he rejects it the first time, and he rejects it the second time, you give him the boot. It's over. No more. Stop talking to him. Finito. I think that means finished, if I'm not mistaken. Fact check me on that. So there you go. After the first and second admonition, let's get that word admonition. What does admonition mean? All right, exhortation. Calling attention to. There you go. What are we calling attention to? The wedding. Stop being wicked. Stop breaking the commandments. Push the truth. Have faith. Have works. Believe in Yahawashi. Believe in his gospel. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and speckled bird are the 12 tribes. We went off, so on and so forth. There you go. The MOTB is the RFID chip. There you go. If they can't get it first, if you tell them, show them evidence, right? Show them evidence of the RFID chip. All right, bring out the scriptures. Do it 2 times. They don't get it. They're cooked. No more. Don't talk to them no more about it. Reject them. Let's get that word reject. What does that word reject mean there? Let's get it. Refuse, beg off, decline, shun, avoid. There you go. No more. Does that mean be friends with them? No. Does that mean talk back and forth with them for 30 minutes straight? No. Reject. Don't waste no time with them. Save your breath. Let's get Hebrews, the 8th chapter. I'm going to start from the top. Now of the things which have spoken this in the sum, we have such a high priest. Who is this high priest? Yahawashi, who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle which the Lord pitched and not man. For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices, wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer. For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law, who serve unto the example and shadow of the heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of the Most High when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern shewed to thee in the mount. But now have he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is a mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. So there's Israelite groups that strain away from this. Hebrews 1-6. They're not a part of this better ministry. Okay? They're not being bid to the wedding. They're not bidding to the wedding. They're bidding to the serpent. And they're going to get worse. Let's get that. This is 2 Timothy 3:13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. And there, guess what? You're going to have people doing it on purpose. You're going to have people that are intentionally doing it because more than likely because of money. And you're going to have jakes that are doing it on accident. You know, they don't understand that actually, let's get that. Let's get John. Let the scriptures talk. Let's get John 17 chapter and verse 6. I have manifested thy name. Okay. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy Word, there you go. So you're not going to be Yahawashi is not going to manifest the name of Yahweh, which proves that Yahweh's name has been hidden. Because why would Yahawashi make the statement that he's manifested Yahweh's name if the name is written down for everybody to see it? Okay, Yahawashi manifested Yahweh's name and his name too, right? And guess what? And they have kept thy word. Did they get it? And then they bugged out and they just went back to Christianity and then they came back. No, you can't do that, man. That's not a part of the gospel, bro. Let's reread that again. John 17:6. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world, the elect. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. There you go. There you go. And guess what? Jake's out here ain't doing that. You know, once you see them preaching something different, they out of there, man. Can the Most High Yahweh have mercy on them? Let's see. Let's see if they did something. Let's see. Let's type in that word impossible. See if something pops up that I like. Boom. Hebrews, the 6th chapter, and verse 4. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened, so that means Yahawashi, Yahweh, they open up that door, and have tasted of the heavenly gift. Yeah, you know you're Israelite, you push, you doing your thing, right? And were made partakers of the Rakakwadash, and have tasted the good word of the Most High and the powers of the world to come, if they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance. There you go. So if you see a Jake, he on point, he fall off, he can't get renewed again. All right, to the kingdom, of course. When the kingdom comes, they'll be on point because they're gonna be forced. They're gonna be beaten into a righteous submission. Listen this off in Psalms 138. And I'm gonna start from the top. Psalms 138 chapter from the top. Actually, no. Was it 136? All right, I'm gonna just end that off right there. Wrote that down by accident. All right, and with that, shalom.